subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. And then I guess this is the clip.
You wanted to play with like a team with more firepower, more capabilities. Like the only way he would have been able, that he would really wanted to stay in FaZe, was if we would have gotten, you know, a high firepower player, and it just wasn't not possible at the time. Just all the roster mania going on right now, and just like contracts not being ended and shit, just making everything pretty hard.
So yeah, I mean, I guess like, who did he want more for firepower on the current roster that they have? Because then I mean, like, I guess it's just like Rain, maybe. I really think the issue is when we talked about m0NESY going to Falcons and then staying at G2, and what we talked about with ropz going to Vitality, and there's just certain players that I think carry. Like if you get, if ropz is like, oh, I can go play with fucking ZywOo, like it is that simple. Because, well, maybe who knows, maybe he just didn't think fl0m was really carrying the same amount of impact that Twist did, which is fair. I think fl0m gets a lot of kills and he statistically looks fine. If anything, he probably looks better a lot of times than Twist on the stat sheet, but you can feel Twist's impact missing in that FaZe lineup every time they play. You absolutely, so maybe it's a bit of that. It might not be like Rain, it might not. And I think, yeah, it's hard if you're FaZe, like nobody on your team is ZywOo. You know, it's like this version of the roster is like a slightly like a worse version of Navi, and then you have like m0NESY, you have Donk, and then you have ZywOo, like out of these other top teams. And yeah, I think fl0m, the tricky part with fl0m, he's really talented, but he's not a one-to-one with Twist. He's a bit more passive than Twist, but he also played some of the positions on CT side that Rain liked to play. And then on T side, because he's a slower playing player, they missed that like explosiveness out of Twist. And so ropz is just like, well, this kind of doesn't work. It makes it harder for ropz to like have impact, because he's the baiter, he's the lurker, right? Like, so if you have another player that's kind of passive, it puts it all on Rain and Kerrigan to do everything. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think like ropz wasn't wrong in his analysis of his own team. And I talked about it. This didn't make it into the end of the videos, but I just think ropz kind of realized what was happening with FaZe. And also FaZe they're kind of stuck. Like if ropz doesn't leave the team, that roster wasn't going to change, right? Like, let's just be honest. Especially after that performance, this roster wasn't going to change. And let's try to not be a fanboy for a second. I don't think they win any tournaments with this roster in 2025. It's not even like a talent problem. It's just like this version of it just doesn't work well together. That's it. Like, it's not that because somebody's bad. It's not because it's literally just this version of it just doesn't quite fit right. And I think ropz realized that. Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Let's end it there.